Uh, Hello, welcome. We're just starting to get people signing up in the webinar, and we're also waiting for our last panelist. So while we start this seminar, I would love to. Well, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Roberta. I'm a program and recruitment manager at ESCP Berlin campus for the Executive MBA and the GMP program. I'm sure I've been in touch with some of you already. So if you have met me, I'm so glad to see you again. And if you haven't, just don't hesitate to reach out to know more about the program. Let me see now. Oh, hey, Yohanna is here. So the webinar today, we're going to be talking about the Executive MBA program. And as you know, the program has very different formats, but normally it's an 18-month program that starts with the induction seminar in January and finishes in the following year in June with the closing seminar, and after 18 months. And today we have three participants of the program that had already finished their first year. They started at the end of 2022. And we're going to hear from them what was their experience so far, and what can they share so that you can make the most out of the program. And so it's more a conversation that we're going to have with the participants. So I thank you very much for joining us and for always being willing to share your experience and to talk with our candidates and participants. So that's pretty much the introduction of what we're going to go through today. And let me now introduce you our three participants. We have them here. So Joanna, are you there?
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Oh, perfect. Now we can see you. Hi, Joanna. How are you?
Good, thank you.
From where are you connecting today?
To Zoom. Sorry?
From where are you connecting today?
From the middle of Germany, so I'm living in Holzminden.
Okay, I don't even know how to pronounce that, but let's. We have Ludovico. Hi, Ludo.
Ciao, Roberta.
Ciao. And Iryna.
Hi, Roberta. And
Hello.
thank you for having us here today.
Thank you, the three of you. So I would love for you to introduce yourself a little bit. I have some notes here. So if you want to start, Johanna, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes.
And say, yeah.
So as it's written, I am French, living in Germany. I am a category director in a company producing raw material for the cosmetic industry. So I am managing a team of product manager, and I also managing a lab with people based in Germany, in France, and in US. Yes, I have a global position dealing every day with Asia, Europe, Latin, North America.
Great. And what's your background in education?
I have a I have a master in chemistry, biochemistry, and I also have a master in marketing.
Great. Ludovico, you want to go ahead?
Yes, so Ludovico Frati. I'm actually living in partly in Switzerland and partly in Italy. So I split my life between Lausanne and Florence. I'm basically covering business development, which we fancily call customer development management within our organization. And we are a company producing industrial machinery for the printing and converting industry for packaging, from the paper to aluminum, plastic, board, and corrugated board. My background. Sorry?
How long have you been working in the same company?
For now, more than 10 years.
10 years, okay.
Through several merge and acquisition, but still in the same business for 10 years now.
Great.
So my background is engineering. I'm a mechanical engineer by training, but always been passionate about dealing with customer. And so after having managed the R&D for a few years, Then I moved into product marketing, and finally I landed into business development, which is now the core of the activity I'm leading.
Great. They must be very happy to have you. And Iryna, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Ukrainian. I do live in Germany for more than 9 years. I am an interior designer by education, and at the moment I'm senior interior designer at Workplace, focusing on office design, and as well as doing business development from this year on, connecting the cross functions and different departments. My education is bachelor's, but because of strong experience in management, I had the opportunity to join ESCP.
Well, that's yes, and we have the chance to have you among us.
Yeah.
As you see, we're all very international. I'm also Argentinian, based in Berlin, and now in Paris for work. So we are all very international. So I now ask you if you can have 3 words for us to describe yourself. I don't know, Johanna, if you thought about it.
Yeah, okay, so this is always not easy. So I think I would describe myself as leader. So this is something that I really enjoy, to lead a team, to share passion and to motivate people.
Mm-hmm.
I am determined. And what else? I am optimist.
Optimist. I think that we all are a little bit here in the program. Ludo, I think that Ludovico, I think that you've shared it with me, but maybe you remember them.
Optimistic. I'm super optimistic. I'm extremely curious, and something might not be sometimes easy to say, but I'm very emotional, and I think this is one of my biggest strengths.
Yes, I think being able to know that, having this self-awareness and then knowing how to regulate it, I think it's also an amazing quality also. And Iryna?
I'm very enthusiastic. It's very important for design and things I'm dealing every day with. Friendly as well. That would be the second word. For me, it's important to have a good connection, you know, in terms of network, colleagues and friends. And I am persistent. I'm very stubborn, and I like to, you know, keep on going and get there and get things done.
Well, now, okay, I still have I'm gonna go back. How can I? Okay, I'm gonna save this so that it stays, and then I will clear. Thank you for this introduction. I think that it gives a great idea of who you are and what are the participants of the program like. And we are still with the annotation there. I'm gonna try to. Okay. Sorry about this. Is okay. Now we're back. So yeah, I prepared some guiding questions to guide us for the discussion, and these are mainly the questions that we have received from the candidates and potential candidates and normally the people that are interested in our program, and that's what they really want to know. So I will ask you the question, and you can just jump and answer. We're gonna allocate about 5 minutes to each question, if that's okay. If you are on the other side, if you want to ask other questions, you can do that on the Q&A or on the chat. I'm more than happy to keep the conversation going. So yeah, the first one would be, how did you know that it was the right time for an executive MBA? Like, who wants to go first?
I can start. It didn't come immediately. It was a discussion with my boss and the boss of my boss, because I have a evolution plan in my company. At first, I never thought that I will go back to school, because I did 2 masters and I say, okay, I am done. But in fact, look, so if you want to grow, and at some point, it's a good opportunity to go back to school, to confront your experience with others, because at the end, when you are in the MBA, you are sharing so much experience, so you gain so much input from the others. So it helped me. In fact, I decided to go to to help me to grow in my position and to grow in the future for my future in my company.
Actually, growth, it's really good point, because it's ESCP, you know, and being with you, it gives the opportunity to learn new skills, to learn not only from professors, but as well from peers, the people like us. So I was looking for the people who I can interact with, who are like-minded, with who I can go beyond my everyday experience. To me, it was a debate. I was looking already for several years. What's the best way to grow? And I think EMBA provides that at most. You get to travel, you meet new people, you work on interesting projects. So that's a fantastic way. And to the right time, I think it's when you understand that there's not much from the environment which I am at the moment, for example, to learn from, then I look beyond, and that was the right time for me to join EMBA.
Yeah, I agree. And from learn new skill, is that a new skill that you think that you needed for your job, for your career, or just personally?
Of course, career, for career, and as well as personally. So it's both. But definitely it helps you a lot to grow within the career and within your abilities on every day.
And Ludo, do you have anything to add?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I share the same reason of Iryna and Yohanna, and I would add the fact that for me it was also a transition. I was living in a transition phase between one of the merge that we went through in the last years, and my role also was changing. So I had more time. I thought at least that I had more time, and I still had a lot of energy. So I said, this is the time where I'm not learning as much as I would on a daily basis because of my position, because of the experience done, because of being in the same business for a long time. Then I said, I need something else. I need to learn fast, and I need to educate myself with a lot of experience from the others. And the easiest way was to jump into an MBA program.
Yeah, because sometimes you have this dichotomy of like, if an executive MBA, it's a formal program, and you know, it's a big investment, and you sometimes you think that you can upskill with some courses or these other things, but this is literally a complete different setup, and it's something that you need to do when you think that you're ready and you really want to make a change in your career and your personal lives. So I think you all three made a perfect clearly overview of when do you have to choose this program.
Maybe Roberta, I can add something in terms. So for me, it's also to grow as leader, and yes. This helps you to. So for me, each time I come back from, maybe I go too fast here, but when I come back from the class, I can already share with my team. And it's not only me who is growing with this program, it's also my team. And by not being there always, it gives the opportunity to my team member to also grow on site. So we are all benefiting from this.
And that's a great point, and the fact of sharing. This is we always I always recognize this generosity in our participants. Everybody is very willing to share, and it's a very collective kind of learning environment. So that the fact that you can also share that with your teams back in the work life, that makes a lot of sense.
And it's definitely beneficial for the companies who we're working for. For example, this year, I'm able to bring new skills, new ideas on the table to drive the profitability, to drive the processes better, to, as was mentioned, like to contribute to the team knowledge increase. So it's so many good things which are coming together with EMBA. And
Great. So these are the things. So let me see if I can go now. Yeah, what I took some notes is like when sometimes you have enough experience and that you really need some other things, and you still have career ambitions and thirst for learning, and also it has to do for all of you. What I hear when I get to know you in class or during interviews is that you are worried about what's happening, what's next for the world, and you want to be in the forefront of what's happening. And in the next in the next few years, and so you want to be prepared for that, and I think that's what the executive MBA gives you. So I really think that's also worth mentioning. And yeah, so we go for the second question. And so how did you choose your core courses and electives? As you know, well, the program, we have 9 core courses that are offered in 3 different locations and online. We have 10 electives that you have to choose from a portfolio of 54 electives. And then we have 5 campuses in Berlin, London, Madrid, Paris, and Turin. So it's a broad spectrum of choices. And I wanted to ask you, how do you manage to choose how you do your core courses, or when? If you have any tips.
And start here saying that somehow for me was easier because having split the GMP from the completion of the executive program, I had already some experience in what was the level of the courses and the rest. So when I decided the electives I wanted to take for complete the program, then for me it was a matter of looking at what were my real interests, how to expand my knowledge, and not really to focus on strengthen again things where I was already good at. So for me, it was more looking broader in things I had no clue of. So to get this additional taste of things that are no familiar, what I was not familiar to, so to broaden also my view and my capability to connect dots between, let's say, in a complex environment, which on a daily basis is getting more complex and more complex, and we're having this connection between different disciplines, different fields. It's for me crucial.
So it's more about the topic based, like in your case. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Topics, interest, and yeah, topic and interest.
And have you been to all the campuses yet?
I think yes, all the campuses.
And what's your experience?
My experience with the campus is really great. I mean, what I missed during the GMP, because I was in a touring track that was mainly based, that was only in Italy. And this was one of the biggest advantage when I moved then to the executive program, because then moving from one campus to another, it was every time a fresher breath of air. So it was really, it will come also later in the discussion, because one of the questions, but it really moving between campuses, it helped a lot creating this sense of class and creating also this sense of community, which is somehow, at least within the European environment, is one of the strengths, and is very much linked also to the value of the organization of ESCP, which is creating a community that reflects the value of the European Union. And moving between the different campuses, it was helpful to see in reality how this is not only word, but is actually something that in practice is happening. So you get this feeling of being there all together, connecting, sharing, and trying always to find ways to share more and more, and to leverage on each other knowledge to expand knowledge of everyone. So in the end, it was a very good, it's still a very good opportunity every time that we can move from one campus to another.
So I agree with you, Ludovico. So what was interesting to have these core courses in different sites, it's that you are not a huge group, and so we are. Yes, we are a real class, and we have time to connect and to really well know each other, and to create real links, so link between each other. So me, I choose, so the ESCP, the interest of ESCP was to have different campus. So I went to all of them, and I went to Madrid for the first time last week. And what was important for me was really this international environment. So because I didn't want to go to France and to have, I wanted to experiment a different way, to a different kind of education. So if you go to London, you will have English teachers, so they will have a different methodology, different way to teach. So this is something that I wanted to experiment. So, and also what is interesting, since you have different options with the core courses, you can spread them over the year. So you are not packed. And me, it was important to balance between my work and my personal life and the class. So I didn't want to have class on Saturday, for example. So sometimes it happens, but I try to avoid it. I want to have a week dedicated to the class. So I try to group the core courses. And so I am trying to be out of the work. And so I am focusing on this, and I am trying to not to mix. So this is good, the way the core courses were spread over the year. So this is good. And for the elective, I really choose them depending of the interest I had on the topic. So sometimes I had to make some choice because they could be in parallel. But yes, I tried to have a balance for my evolution. So personal leadership or marketing or sustainability, etc. So yeah, I try to have a balance and not to focus only on one thing.
Yes, that's the advice that we always give. It's like to balance a little bit more the skills that you want to develop, and the things that you think you need, and the things that you have no idea that you might need in the future, and that can open new doors for you. And Iryna, do you want to say something about this?
Yes, definitely. I think the big advantage is to have the flexibility that first you can travel between the campuses, then you can choose courses and which campus you take them. For me, it was really helpful because I had to align with my work schedule. I'm traveling a lot. I am meeting clients, so it's not so easy to go with fixed schedule. Of course, what Yohanna said and Ludovico, the community sense is very much present. We are very well connected. We're always in touch. We feel like one class, even though sometimes we don't meet in the same core courses. For electives, that was a hardcore for me. So I had to redesign and like 5 times. So first I thought like based on my interest, and then I started to analyze what does it mean in terms of future work, what electives would contribute me and make me a better manager or better leader. And then at the end, I found a good balance to complement the knowledge that I would like to learn. And then sometimes I go beyond, like I choose some topics which I have no idea, for example, finance. It's really a red zone. And, to have this community, I know that like I can work with the teams, I can learn easily. So it gives me so much of confidence to keep on learning new skills and new subjects. And of course, traveling, it's a bonus. You see different cities, you meet, all of us are from different cultures, we have great experience. We complement all the courses, electives on campus with activities which goes after the school. So it's a good flexibility what ESCP offers. So in that sense, it's easier to work and have EMBA in parallel because it's, as Yohanna said, we are more capable to have this good balance between the families, the work, and of course, studying.
And the last thing that I wanted to add to what you were saying is that I always feel like the classes are a safe space for you. Everything is possible, and there's no failure in class, and you all share during the class. So it's very it really encourages a very transparent learning for everybody. I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn on the light, so I don't know if you're still seeing me.
Yeah,
I'm
you
in
see.
I'm in a new office, but yeah, I just wanted to say that because I don't know what's happening here. Luckily I'm in front of a window. So I will pass to the next question. And yes, exactly what we were talking, how to manage the program with work and personal life. Johanna, you mentioned that, and that's one of the things that I wrote down, that it's to be present where you are. When you are in class, be in class. When you're with your family, be with your family, and try to schedule time to block those things, and try to be as mindful as possible of where you are. Is that a good tip?
Yes, 100%.
And I know, Iryna, that you work, you block time in your weekend sometimes to work, even if you have classes or not, to work on the assignments and to be on top of all the readings that you have to do. So that's also something that I remember from our conversations. And
Oh,
I
yes.
don't know. And I don't know if you have any other, well, and I think it's very important to have a support system when you're joining a program like this.
Yeah,
Yes,
I just want to complete. Sorry, go ahead, Iryna.
No, please say it. I can add at the end.
Yeah, so it I don't want to describe a perfect world, easy world. It's not easy. So I have complaints of my daughters every day, but so we have to have this in mind. But it's manageable. But it's true that I think that the way we can balance with this flexibility, it helps. So it's not we are talking like it's so easy, etc. It's not easy. It's important to have this in mind, but it's really doable.
Yes, and the tips what Roberta just said, it do help. For example, I try not to do everything at the last minute. I rather do
Yes.
a little bit here, a little bit there to have this consistency, because then yes, you're right. I mean, my friends, they don't really see me. My family, they're missing me out. So it's always like a trade-off of your time and availability. But I think what Roberta mentioned, it's kind of tips which can help to aim to the perfect world. But of course the challenges are there. Sometimes it's more busy days, sometimes it's less busy days.
I think that blocking time every week is really key. For me, that I was not so structured enough to make it, then it turned out not doing so to be quite challenging. So you have on one side the beauty of the flexibility given by the program to decide what to attend and when. But on the other side, then to manage the time between the course and then the assignment to be submitted has to be really treated as an additional task you have on your daily business. Because otherwise you finish working after work, overnight, and during the weekend, because certain, let's say, electives or certain courses are quite demanding. So, and it's very good to allocate the time right in advance, so to make sure that it's taken as a standard weekly activity to do. Otherwise, can be really challenging to handle.
It's interesting.
But at the end,
I'm trying to speak in the same time. Go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that I am not an organized person. So being in design, we are very hectic. We have so many different activities, ideas. So with EMBA, I had to become more structured, more organized. And yeah, it was more like learning by doing, but it's really crucial to have that in mind. Yeah.
It's a survival path.
That's true, yes.
and we find resources to do this additional work. I was not expecting to be able to generate so much work so it's you find resources in yourself, and now we are already discussing of what we will do next after the MBA, because we will have too much time.
Too much time, yes.
So we are already discussing between us about the new project that we are going to run.
That is always the comment that we have after the closing seminar, and it's like, what am I going to do now? Like, I have so much time.
Yeah.
So yes, I think that we've covered this question, and the next one is like, okay, so you the three of you went to different regional leadership seminars. That was in November last year. So if you would like to talk us a little bit about your experience, how was it? What was the best part of it? And what did you learn from it? What was your experience? So you wanna go, Iryna?
Yes, sure. So Brazil, it was the place to be for me. What I like about that, I get to learn about how the business functions. What are the key things to pay attention to if someone starts the business? What is the country having? For example, Brazil is one of the leaders in sustainability. And then we had like great number of lectures, but then of course we were visiting the companies and different companies, sometimes production site, right? And then we danced samba. We looked into the business cases. We interacted with really interesting entrepreneurs who started the business to address actually the people in need, communities, favelas, people who don't have so much power, you know, to buy, to purchase, and to participate into their days and in this kind of sense. So it was really interesting to see that in general, as we are all very driven business driven people, I mean, we are leaders, we're trying to get as much revenue as possible, but Brazil showed that also you can do it very sustainable, you can really engage with the local people and activate yeah, the areas which were like not there yet. So how to be more thoughtful and inclusive. So that was like a really good thing to, yeah, to learn, you know. And of course, at the end, it was fun part as well. As I said, we were dancing samba. We really got in contact with the local culture. So that was like really good.
And I think we debunked a lot of prejudgments that we would have before. So coming from Europe, so in that sense of the sustainability, we always think that, okay, we're doing the best, but it's actually there are learnings to have from both sides. So I think that was really interesting, and that we can always do that. So we have Ludovico. You went to Singapore.
Yeah, in the picture, I was actually running to get my flight back. So I'm not sure if I have the picture. No, I think I was there. No, it was, for me, it was absolutely an amazing week. I would do again the same choice. For me, the decision to go to Singapore, it was a very business-driven decision because the whole Asia Pacific and the topic that we treated was more on the Asian countries, which are facing an incredibly fast growing pace in terms of business and economy, was really an opportunity for new businesses that I was interested to look into. So it was the main reason why I decided to go to Singapore. Then there are a lot of other reasons. I've never been there. I traveled for work a little bit in the Asia Pacific, but not really. So always for my own current business and not for looking around, let's say, and really experiencing what is happening globally in the area. So for me, it was in the end a good dive into the dynamics of the region. And all in all, I'm very happy about the experience we had. I mean, it probably was the largest part of the MBA cohort was there. So lots of party, lots of people, a lot of exchange, very interesting discussion with the panelists. So all in all, I'm very happy about the experience in Singapore.
This seminar in Singapore is organized in partnership with our sister school of ESA Beirut, and this is a great addition to the program. We have amazing participants coming from the global track and also the organization of this seminar that it's done by ESA. It's always a good added value for more networking, especially in that region.
Absolutely, also because with the court from ESA, we don't get always the same connection. So we have many people from ESA coming to the various elective, but not the entire class being there. So that one was really an amazing chance to connect with them. And also thanks to the assignment that we had after the seminar, it was good to keep the connection, work more with them, and so to create more bonding and also have a broader share of vision around the subject that we touched during the seminar.
Awesome, that's a great closing. And Yohanna, I don't know what's happening with my, there we go. You went to Dubai.
Yes. So I choose Dubai because I have been in Brazil and Singapore, so I wanted to discover something new. Dubai for me, to be frank, I didn't know what to expect from this trip. I didn't know it. I was thinking, okay, this will not be, it's not a high interest for my job at the moment, and personally, I don't see the point to go there. And this week completely changed my mind. So I really want now to bring my daughter there to discover this country, because it's so far from where we are today or what we are doing. So what was interesting in terms of activity, we had a full day negotiation in the Middle East region. So this was really interesting because it's the way to think, the way to negotiate is completely different and really far from what we are doing. So the code are different. So we talk about this. We also had we also visited some companies. So there was one investment company, and they invited us in our debriefing in the morning, where they were inviting company to present their own company to encourage them to invest in their company. So this was really interesting to see how they were trying to attract this company. We also visited the MasterCard Innovation Center. So this was great because you see how, so when you think about MasterCard, okay, so this is a bank or a credit card, etc. But they were mainly talking about security, how to secure all the system around the exchange around the world. So this was really interesting. And yes, the culture is completely different. So we were really in touch with different people living there. We also had the opportunity to have dinner with alumni based in Dubai. So it was interesting because they really explain us their life there, how they see the difference between autocracy, democracy. We had a lot of discussion about this, and also, of course, the country. So we did some interesting visits. So yeah, it was very nice.
The idea behind these seminars, as we call the Immersion Weeks, is to have more experiential learning and to get out of the comfort zone and to learn actually in the spot and challenge everything that we know. And while at the same time we're still creating the bonds within the class and learning about new topics that we can. Yes, Iryna, do you want to say something?
Yes, I would like to make a closure with great compliments to actually the organization of regional seminars, because I haven't mentioned that. So in Brazil, we were traveling between two cities, and in general, I was really, really impressed, like how ESCP team supported the schedules. So it's actually been at the regional seminar. You make our job easier, like just to be there, focus full on the lectures and the experience. So that's like big thank you to all of you.
We have amazing partners, schools in Brazil. I was there luckily with Iryna. It was a great experience, and that we need to thank also to our partners. And I also learned a lot during the seminar, so I'm very happy about it.
But you are right, Iryna, because us in Dubai, so the professor organizing the seminar was based years in Dubai, so he was really well connected. So which make the exchange and the touch with people there even more interesting because he knew them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so this I think that this seminar is also one of the main ways that we can connect the participants, especially because you're all traveling together, you're all staying in the same hotel. But how other ways that you find to keep this community feeling or the class feeling, since you're traveling all the time? And again, I have some ideas and tips about the answers.
Definitely a lot of group work. That
It's
is
one of the key.
that is definitely one, I think. But we touched a little bit this point on the previous question, because moving from one country to another, from one campus to another, with always not the entire cohort, but with the smaller classes, and every time a different one, really gives you this feeling of class. And always a class with some people which are the same, other which are not. So there is this continuous exchange, but still this great sense of being a team, being a class. And of course, then the seminar, they help, because you manage to bond more. You are a full week focus on the subject all together, discussing and working and exchanging and partying overnight. And then the biggest part is anyway the assignment and the group work that you do for the electives, for the core courses. That is the one that create the strongest connection for me.
Mhm.
You're together in the suffering.
Yeah, of course, but also in enjoying and suffering at the same time.
Yeah, it's more joy, like the suffering.
Yeah, and at the end, the assignment, I think it's where we are learning the most, because we are digging into the topic, and this is where you can experiment things. So it's not so bad.
No, to apply them. It's actually part of it's a big part of the pedagogical approach, and it's part of the learning most of the time, because you are in class and you are absorbing all of this content, and then you need some time to translate it, to apply it, to make sense of it, and that's when the assignment comes in.
Yeah,
And
what we.
No, please, Yohanna, go ahead.
So just what you said, Ludo, before, and we are talking about class, and this, what is interesting is we are most of the time in small group. So this helps to create also this class spirit, because even if we are changing from one class to the other, there is different person, but we always find the same people more or less. So then at the end we are one group, because we ended to really know each other, because of course, when you are a group of 100, you are always with the same people. But when you are in this small class, you always exchange and learn each other. So I think this is a very key positive point.
Yeah, I think also that the fact that you have smaller classes when you go through electives mainly, and then you regroup all together during the seminars, which are, by the way, divided almost every 2 or 3 months. It helps a lot to absorb and then digest, to create slowly the connection, then rebond again, and then take additional time and then rebond again. This helps a lot for me, or at least in my experience, it helped me a lot to create a long-lasting also connection with the people in the court, with my colleagues, and with the overall class.
Do you feel that you're in class, you are networking, or you're actually making connections and friends? Because sometimes I hear this word, I wanna do the program because of networking, and it sounds kind of very superficial compared to the kind of bonds that you have with the program.
Yeah, I agree that networking is a biggest part of the executive MBA, but for me, networking is not taking advantage of knowing people or seeking for opportunities, in more having the possibility to create a new connection and strong bonding with people with totally different background, with different story behind them, with totally different culture, and then to expand the way you see things. This is what is important for me.
You know, when I was looking into EMBA program, my expectation from not knowing what to expect, I thought everyone will be, superficial, super ambitious, driving, heads on. What I've seen, like we become friends. Like I have so many friends actually now from the program. I'm impressed. And then of course, it's a great connection. We get to know each other. And what I really like that at the class, it's like 12 hours to 24, right? And then it's stretched over the week. But then doing the group work, which can last a month, 2 or 3. So that really gives you the opportunity to, as Yohanna and Ludo just mentioned, to really connect, to learn from each other, to learn about each other, and develop this friendship or good connections, both ways. Of course, we are greatly connected via different technologies. WhatsApp is one of them, and then of course there are different programs, and there are also evenings meetups, going for dinner, events which ESCP is organizing, or sometimes we are organizing that. So there are like some activists who very proactively like finding the right place for everyone, make sure that the bigger group can fit. So that's all contribute to this great class feeling.
Yeah.
I might add also one thing that for me was somehow a surprise, but turned out to be probably the most important thing why I also decided to continue from the GMP to the executive MBA. And I'm very happy now to go through this, let's say, program, is that I realized that, as Iryna was saying, that you expect people to join or participate to attend an MBA because they are super competitive, they want to get promotion, they want to escalate society, and then you realize that instead there were a lot of people that were seeking for a change because they feel uncomfortable in the situation that they were living. So either it was a matter of a clash of values within the organization or the environment they were living, but many people were looking for a change, a personal change. There was not a career path, there was not, and this is somehow, I think, very much, I don't know if you did a great marketing, but this is very much connected to the value and the mission of ESCP, which is to create leaders which are purpose-driven for a new world, for a sustainable society, for a sustainable planet. And this it was the biggest connection that I could find with the people around me. And it's today the biggest point that I can highlight of the overall journey in with the ESCP.
So we are very ambitious, but we are in a sustainable way ambitious.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will go now to the last question, so that we can close. And I think it's a perfect moment because this is one of the things that the ranking are saying about us, and we are the number 5 ranked executive MBA in the world by the Financial Times ranking in 2022, and that is thanks to many different other indexes in the ranking. And the one is that we are the number 5 in SDGs in courses, which is why we're driven by the responsible leadership and sustainability. We have core courses, electives, seminars based on that, and we really want to enforce this idea of the taking care of your growth, but the planet also, and it's not just about the profit in terms of money and income, and we have much more to worry about. But the things that it's a positive, it's a very positive and proactive approach to that. It's like we can do something, and this is where you're standing. As we've said before, we are very international school, and we are number 3 in international students, number 5 in international course experience. So many of our participants come to ESCP because we are a multinational multi-campus structure. We have a multinational school, and we have participants that are coming from very different nationalities, and that's very diverse and very enriching, and the experience. And even if we have a campus in Paris and in Turin, and sometimes we have a lot of Parisians and a lot of Italians. We mix, everybody mixes a lot, and that is a great thing. So that's 79% of aims achieved by our class of 2019. Salary increase is also important, and that we said that we are ambitious, the overall satisfaction rate is very high. And that we've been steadily growing and jumping in the ranking for the last 3-4 years, from the spots 14 until the number 5 this year. So we're absolutely very proud. That is absolutely thanks to our participants and to all of you. But apart from this, why would you say what's the best thing about the executive MBA at ESCP? If you can say that in 3 to 4 words.
3 to 4 words.
Yes. Okay. Or
Girls,
let's say
go ahead.
1 minute each. Yes.
So it's a passion. I think that everyone is passionate. So it's a family. And this is so why I choose this school, because this is what I felt from the beginning, because I had interview with different schools, and I felt that I will find a family there. So this was my main.
I like that. I really like that. Here, we are a family. It is true.
But also ESCP, you know, like with ESCP, you can learn everything. So you actually learn. You, as I said, like you go there without not knowing the subject, but you can learn from different aspects. For me, ESCP is international community. Definitely, I as well agree with Yohanna. It's a family. We become a big family at the moment. Great connections as well. Great interactions. What else? I want to say so much more. It's really hard, few words.
But for me, the very extended multiculturalism of the court is one of the greatest points.
I agree. It's
yeah, and flexibility. You know, the flexibility what you give to us in terms of being international, as well as learning experience. So many business schools, they just offer the courses. So you really go beyond, like we can really open new skills, new interests. Yeah.
We actually, the flexibility part, we always take it for granted because it's so natural for us that you can do whatever you want in some sense, that when we sometimes compare with other schools and stuff, it's just like, it's amazing that we are able to offer that flexibility. I think that's one of our unique.
Maybe one more thing. We are a European school. It's a European school, and sometimes we always want to see what happened abroad or far from us. But at the end, it also learn what is Europe, and there is a seminar dedicated to that. And this was really interesting to remind us. Yes, we are in Europe. We also have a nice environment with this European organization, and I found it interesting.
And as well, you guys are a connector. You're a bridge between, you know, the education and actually the business world, because we learn, we work with the professors who are active on the field. We meet the entrepreneurs. We meet people who already, you know, done this education and back in full speed back to business world. So you're like really connecting and making sure that the management, the future leaders are, not only learning from the books, but actually learning by doing and learning something which can be applied after the education received.
And for me is also offering a very different perspective on business and how business can be done, being granting profitability, but being sustainable. And this is the view that is offered throughout the entire program is really pushing towards a totally different set of tools and perspectives that help you really seeing a business from a totally different angle, with this aim that the school has to create this sense of urgency for a complete change of how the way and the business is done. So, and this is for me one of the main points.
Yeah, I think it's a call for action that you're getting in every course that you go. It's to make a change and to do better for the next generation, for us and for the next generation. So this is.
And then also coming back to the 3 words, how to discover ourselves and be about it for myself, being emotional. You are one of the few schools which are bringing the value of emotion into business. So, and how to leverage on that. That's why maybe I like you so much.
Well, I can say the same. I mean, I had when I first set foot on the school, I was like, this is a place where I can call home, and that I feel completely aligned with the values and what we're bringing into you. So I think that's a great culture. So yes, I think I really want to thank you guys. I think that we are right on time. It was a fantastic discussion that we had. I really hope that you all enjoyed in the other side. And we have one small question here, which is about the funding of the program. If you are self-funded or if your company paid for the program. Lastly, we've been seeing more and more self-funded participants. Before it was mostly company funded, but now it's like mid and mid. But if you want to comment a little bit on that, I don't know if you want to share about your personal experience. Or...
Yes, from my side, it's fully financed by my company, both for the GMP and the executive MBA part.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So by
the way, in my organization, my manager that in 2018, when I did the GMP, then I stopped during COVID because I wanted to attend classes in person. For me, the value of meeting people was so strong that I decided to split it and the GMP from the executive MBA. Mm-hmm. It was because he was also he attended also ESCP, so he did the same path. So I could leverage on some of the experience I did already, and that's it.
Yeah.
And maybe from my side, sorry, Roberta.
No, it's good. Go ahead.
Yeah. I am self-funded, so I do invest not only the funds but also my free time fully. And I'm still, if I would have a second chance to choose, I would do the same. So it's a really good investment in myself. And then, of course, the company supports in terms of approving my time, which I request in terms of the vacations, which then I relocate to ESCP, and that's really good to have the support in a way.
Yes, it is something that's completely needed. So if you want to join and come be part of our family in our executive MBA, don't hesitate to reach out to me or my colleagues. We're also very friendly, and we really want to make sure that we're having the best candidates. So yeah, reach out. Looking forward to hearing from you. And without further ado, thank you so much, everybody. And yeah, it was a great pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. It's been a pleasure.
And see you around.
Good evening, and yes. Good luck to all of you attending the webinar.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Ciao, Yohanna.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, everyone. Bye.
You, bye.
I'm in the darkness.
Are you recording that too?
I don't.
Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.